Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your love and relationship reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. Do not be scammed. With that being said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, let's let the bulls sing as we hear what the tarot has to say. Virgo, love and relationships. Virgo, Virgo, love and relationships. Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, ooh, you can't see that. Let me just pull back my camera just a bit for you guys. Okay, better. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. Now let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. This is going to be the place where we feel a bit vulnerable, the place that we really need to be mindful of within our relationships, whether it be our romantic relationships, our personal relationships, our work relationships. So let's see here. Love and relationships, Virgo. Love and relationships, Virgo. Angels. Oh, excuse me. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. There we go. And let's see here. The energy that we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Virgo needs to be mindful of? Love and relationships, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. So we're going to start here with our crown. Our crown is the Six of Cups. So there's a lot of nostalgia here. We're holding on to something because it once was good. You know, it once was beautiful. It holds a lot of meaning to us. But it's changed. It has. We have the Six of Pentacles. Things need to be balanced. And that's one of the ways that it's changed. But because we have the repeat of number 6, we're astoundingly caring. We're going to be astoundingly giving during this time, which is a Virgo temperament in and of itself. And so here it's like we're trying to balance it. We're trying to make everything better. We're trying to say, oh, but it once was so good and I'm holding on because it once was so good. Or, you know, I'm waiting for that person to come back because they once were amazing. And then we have the Emperor, who the Emperor comes in like a wrecking ball. So the Emperor is Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. But there's this sense here of, no, we're moving forward. We're going after what we want. We can be meeting somebody. Now, if you are interested in men and you are watching, okay, this is a person who is very take charge, and that's going to be such a change of pace from here, from this imbalance, from this kind of wishy-washiness. So just be aware of that. If you're in a committed relationship, just be warned, you could be tempted during this time. But there's also a sense, if you are into women, there is a sense here of this person coming in just strong. They just catch your eye. It's not going to be in exactly the same way, because it never is. But there is this sense here of strength and power and coming together. And we're also embracing that strength and that power for ourselves. Now, let's see here. Then we have the devil coming in, which is Capricorn energy, time frame, December 22nd to January 19th. The devil is in the details. The devil is going to be what everybody tells you should want and what your heart really desires. It's going to be the chains that we feel, the doubts, the angers, the hurts that we are perpetuating within our lives, because they're wound partners, they're wound mates. It feels comfortable. It feels like what we know, but what we know is damaged. And it moves us then to the King of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Be very, very mindful right now during this time of relationships with fire sign energies. If you are in a committed relationship with a fire sign energy, you could be having a bit of a disagreement, a bit of an argument during this time, or it can be that you're being pulled one way, they're being pulled the other way, and the rest of the world is telling you, or we perceive the world to be telling us, oh, but you're supposed to be doing things like this. Oh, it's supposed to be like this. And it's like, okay, listen, I have to take a step back. There's also a sense of a player coming in, a person who very much kind of struts like a peacock. It can be this Aries energy, but I'm really seeing this as being two separate sides. Like, this is one person, this is the other. This person deals with this issue of things being completely unbalanced and says, no, we're getting things back in order. We're getting things done right. I'm pulling in the reins. We're seeing what needs to be done. And this is like, come walk with me in chaos. It's going to be so fun when we first start. But as you get further and further down the path, it's just going to be nothing that we want. It's kind of like when Pinocchio goes to the land of, what is it? It's not the Lost Boys. Oh, I forget. But with all the boys that don't have a place, and it's just chaos. And that's what happens in life if we don't find our place within the world. It just seems like chaos takes over. And then at our root, there's the Eight of Pentacles. Our hard work is paying off, which is absolutely beautiful to see, because we are tested during this time. We are looking at things in a very different way. Now, the chakra energy is the inner child, the heart chakra. And we see that coming through with us being crowned with the Six of Cups. There's a real sense of our past coming forward to really influence our present. So the heart chakra and the inner child is saying here, why don't you see me? Why aren't you paying attention to your heart? Why can't you open up your arms to me? And so here, there is a sense that we need to step back, and we need to see the child we were, the dreams that we had, the hopes that we had, the fears that we had, the relationships that formed us in our, formative years, the way our caregivers spoke to one another, the way that we were interacted with the opposite sex or the same sex. And it's like, how do I move forward in the power that is me when I still have scars? And it's because we start to acknowledge the scars. We don't hide them away and say, oh, this is something shameful. We say, this is a part of my story. It doesn't have to be shared with everyone. It just doesn't. But this is a part of my story. This is a part of my path. This is a part of what has made me me. And I hold my arms open to the child I was, because I will always be here for that child. So things are going to come up during this time. This is why Spirit said the chakra energy is going to be where we're vulnerable. The greatest way to wound us is to go after is to use our memories against us. If the person knows, oh, well, this person who really meant a lot to you, but who's no longer in your life, always wore this scent, I'm going to wear it. That'll start to mess with our heads. Oh, they always wore, this was their favorite color. Oh, I'm going to wear it. This was their, whatever. This was the way that person dressed, or the lipstick that they wore. And it starts to be emulated, okay? Which is what, and it can be for one very specific person. This is what somebody's doing to manipulate you, but there's this sense, and people do it all the time, maybe even without noticing. We could be very attracted to a person and very drawn to a person who reminds us of somebody we have a deep wound with. And it's like, oh my gosh, just the sight of them, just the way their hair was, or their eyes glinted, it just drew me to them because there's a memory. And the memory right now is of pain and hurt and sorrow and of not being enough. So if we're meeting somebody during this time, we have to be very, very careful, right? If we're already in a relationship and you're sitting there and saying, Dane, this doesn't make sense, there is a sense of the wounds that have formed us when we were younger starting to come forward. And now we can see this in our partner, but we can also start to see this in the way that we are setting up our lives. And it's so interesting. It wasn't until relatively recently that I realized that I had perpetuated wounds within my whole entire life, not just in relationships, but in work and in friends and everything. It was just like I had been kind of programmed to feel a certain way, and I was perpetuating that feeling into every single aspect of my life. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of like all of a sudden we start to become aware of a cycle that needs to be broken. We start to become aware of a pattern that we are perpetuating. And it leads us to the energy to be mindful of, which is the Lord. And the Lord here is the person who's going to be lording it over us. It's going to be that partner that, when you're in public, oh my gosh, they're so affectionate, they're so wonderful, they're so kind. And then the door closes. And it's like you live on shattered glass. The Lord is controlling, overbearing, and overpowering when he wants to be, and sweet and kind and wonderful. The Lord can also be issues with the Father coming forward. So if we have father issues, this is going to be the time where we start to see them kind of coming to the forefront and being used against us. I do see you have a negative Lord, which makes perfect sense, but you also have a very positive Lord right here. Now, the Six of Cups, which is what we have come to, which crowns us during this time quite often, we've come to this card already. This is a sense of the past coming forward. And this is a sense of nostalgia being really, really, really powerful for us. So again, people can use that against us, and they can use that against us rather easily. Oh, remember when? And oh, weren't we happy? And we're going to want to recreate it. We're going to want to say, oh my gosh, we were happy, and it was wonderful, and you're so right. I just need to try harder. But it's always going to be you trying harder. It's always going to be you putting in the effort. And it's like, there's going to get to be a point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of always being the one to shoulder the burdens. Now, either we share that with our partner, with the person that we're with, or we don't. And then we have to figure out how to move forward. Like, what do we do from there? The Six of Cups can also be hurts and pains and disappointments. The part of us that thinks I'm not worthy of love. And that part of us can be coming forward and sabotaging a really great relationship, a really great thing that we have going on here. And it's like, oh, you know what? We've reached this certain amount of time. Never thought it was going to be this good. Time to leave. So here, we're going to be finding that there's just a little bit of poison in things, just a little bit of pain, a little bit of hurt that's coming forward. And it's going to wrap itself around the guise of nostalgia, around the guise of old voices kind of coming in our heads of people who doubted us, of people who judged us. And it leads us to the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, things are out of balance. People are either giving and giving and giving, or taking and taking and taking. And it's like, I need the scale to be balanced. I just do. And this is going to be a time in our life where we start to assess. Now, if we're rather empathic people, we'll take it all on our shoulders. And that's kind of what this person is banking on. So just for a heads up, don't say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Even if you don't think it's your fault, you're going to be polite and say, sorry, we'll just make this better, right? We'll just balance these scales. If it's another person's it's another person's responsibility too. So sometimes we can't get that person to take responsibility. It could be a parent who's long gone, or, who passed away, or who we don't see anymore. It can be an ex that we haven't seen in years or weeks. It can be a myriad of people that have thrown our scales out of balance. is made it so that we always feel like no matter how we try to balance out the scales, it's always tipped one way or the other. We can never get ahead the way that we want to. And the Six of Pentacles is saying here things have to be fair. And we have to step back and say, it needs to be fair. For me, it needs to be fair for the other person. But first and foremost, it needs to be fair for me. I need to have the balanced life that I desire, the balanced goals and prosperity and bounty that I want. And then we have the Emperor come in. And the Emperor is going to be this person who looks at things and it's like, what the heck are you doing? This is going to be the ruler. Now, this could be the ruler of a family, right? The person who really is that kind of voice of reason within each family. It can be a friend that looks at you and says, what the heck are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on? And there's a sense here of being armed again with power, of looking at things and saying, oh, wow, I really went down that hole, didn't I? I really bought it, hook, line, and sinker, that I had to change, that I wasn't worth something, that I, just needed to improve. And now I'm looking at it and saying, but this is me. This is who I am. I get to claim the throne of my existence and I get to rule my life, not be ruled, because it's my right. It's my right to take the power of my life and move forward with it. And it brings us to the devil. And it's like, screw you. I'm not being chained anymore. I'm not living in other people's expectations, other people's desires, other people's hopes, other people's dreams. What about me? The devil is looking at what we're told. Like, this is what a relationship looks like, and this is what happiness is, and this is how you get to, embrace your life. And won't you be thankful? If it was right for everyone, then all marriages would be successful. If it was right for everyone, then life would be so much easier than it is. All relationships would be beautiful. The devil is the chaos within human nature. Now, some of us have a little bit more chaos within us than others. Our brains are wired differently. We need people who understand that. We might have disabilities, ADHD, just different ways of looking at things, being a highly creative person or being a highly organized person. And we need people who complement that. We get attracted to people who bring out the fun, who push us in ways that, we're not usually pushed, that like bring excitement to the table. The devil is saying here, instead of chasing the chaos, let's start looking at what binds us. Let's start looking at what holds us back, what denies us. And let's start looking at where we need to be, of how we need to move forward, of what it is that we truly want when we silence out the world. And it brings us then to the King of Wands. It brings us to passion and creativity, right? And that's what we're embracing. But the King of Wands and the wands in general is... I remember I had a teacher that explained the wands to me as phallically erect energy. It's like the person who has to cheat because they're just always looking for the next great high. And it usually comes sexually. It can come through recreational drugs and alcohol and partying and this and that. But there's a sense here when it comes to relationship with the King of Wands being right next to the devil. It's kind of like, let's have fun. Let's just have as much fun as humanly possible. Let's just go for it. Let's just do this. And then they sweep you off your feet that way, right? Because they're so exciting to be with. But then it shifts. And it's like, well, let's start. Let's start doing things my way. Let me overpower you. And they don't ever say that. But it's like, let me shine brighter than you ever can. Let me move you in a way that works for me. And it moves us then to the Eight of Pentacles. When we're looking at this, and it's like, no. But also, for those of us who are in relationships with really good people, right? This is a time where we're breaking the chains of the sexual rut. This is a time that we're looking at things and we're saying, I want more. I want more than what I thought I could have. And that's why in the description box below, I always have linked a video to Chakra. It's people talking about it, of course, and it's non-orgasmic sex. So what it is it's a sense of being able to truly bond with your partner. Not a sense, it's being truly able to bond with your partner. It's taking orgasm off the table, and it's saying, this is what being connected is. It's like, ongoing foreplay. I mean, and isn't that just the best thing? So here, there's that sense of brilliance and connection and that coming together and that sense of this is what I want, because things have to be balanced. And the relationship before, it wasn't balanced, and it's making me fear that I'm going to repeat old patterns, and they can be patterns of wandering eyes, or thinking, wow, wouldn't this person be better? Or we are going to repeat that, or they are going to repeat that, or that sense of looking, There's also the sense of, well, what if I have a relationship like my parents? What if I have a relationship like my caregivers? What if I can't have the relationship that I want within my mind? And of course, here when Spirit says like our parents, Spirit is assuming that our parents had relationships that, we don't want to emulate. And if they do have relationships that we want to emulate, it's like, well, what if I'm never able to? It's always going to come back to the worry, and the worry can strangle us during this time. It can take away everything. With the Eight of Pentacles, our hard work pays off. What we fight for, what we look for, what we go after during this time, it starts having a real payoff. It starts changing our existence. It starts changing ourselves. It starts opening up doors. And it's like, this is what I've given my blood, sweat, and tears to. This is what's more precious to me than gold, love, commitment, caring, connection, understanding. So let's see what the Spirit guide message is. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Virgo, love and relationships, angels and Spirit guides. Fantastic. So right here, we have angelic. There's a sense of our angels really guiding us during this time, just more so than we even know. It's an angelic time. It's a time where our angels come with us, bless us, guide us, lead us towards hopes and dreams and desires that we might have given up on. We might have thought, oh, that's for somebody else. It's just not for me. And now it becomes a time of angelic blessing. It leads us then to our subconscious. Spirit animal message, angels and Spirit guides. Show me clearly for Virgo, love and relationships. So it says, let it go. Time to let go. It is the groundhog spirit. And it's time to let go of the broken heart that has muted us, that has robbed us of our words. It's time to let go. It's time to embrace what we love. It's time to embrace what we desire without fear. Okay? The subconscious spirit animal message is the badger spirit. Be fearless and be bold. It's time to say, this is what I want. And we might think, oh, that sounds really good, but I don't have a way out. I don't have a plan. Well, it's slowly and steadily building one. It's slowly and steadily seeing, I'm worth more. I'm worth more than what I thought. And I'm embracing more than what I realized. It leads us then to our subconscious spirit message, which is hope. Hope was the one thing left in Pandora's box when all of chaos was released onto the world. And hope is what we have left when everything falls around us and we sit slack-jawed trying to figure out why. Sometimes there aren't answers. Sometimes there are gut feels and intentions and beliefs that tomorrow gets to be better than today. And there's also the hope that love and beauty get to shine in this world in a way that it always seems we're replacing for the newer model. And to age means to become obsolete. In love, in life, that is just not true. Sometimes I marvel at how forward-thinking we can be, how progressive we can be, and yet how utterly backwards we are. Hope. It's such a small word with such a big meaning. It leads us to our subconscious chakra message, which is clarity, the third eye chakra. We're seeing more clearly, gaining a greater understanding, knowing more of what we want and what we need and where we want to be and how we need to get there. It leads us then to our subconscious person message, which is the Princess of Pentacles. Now, this is, of course, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this, of course, represents us. We're studying, we're understanding. We can also, and I've been seeing this, especially in relationships, being called a princess. Oh, you're being such a princess. Stop it. Oh, you always need to have your things your way. and stop being such a princess. You got to get everything you wanted before, but now you're going to learn like discipline or restraint. And it's like, no, you stop it. You stop it. I get to have beauty in my life, prosperity, things of value, things of great and utter meaning. And nobody gets to tell me otherwise. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Hermit. Virgo, that's us. The lantern shining bright. The cage star. The quiet introspection and contemplation of what is desired and what is longed for and what is needed. We turn inward. And it's by turning inward that we find so much more than we ever realized we had lost. And we embrace the essence of ourselves. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we balance the scales and call in prosperity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.